Hello everyone! I know I said that I was going to do a holiday themed video every month this year. However, I was diagnosed with ADHD as a child and I get bored easily on different topics. So I've already failed my New Year's resolution. However, I have this channel as my hobby to have fun with making videos, and I really just want to make different videos that I enjoy, and hopefully others will enjoy watching as well. So I would like to talk about a TV show that I recently watched, and it was okay. It wasn't bad show in my opinion. It wasn't the greatest show I've ever seen. It was a bit mid, but I found out more about the background of the story in the show and found out that it's actually based off of novels written by William Gibson. And he is known for writing Neuromancer. So I was really excited to learn more about this, and honestly, what this TV show has really made me do is really want to eventually buy William Gibson's novels and just read straight from the books. But I would like to do a review today, sharing my thoughts and just giving more background information on the author, the show, and the books. If you Google search William Gibson, you'll find this website, williamgibsonbooks.com. Well, they talk about different books that he has written. And we also have a little snippet on the author. William Gibson is credited with having coined the term cyberspace and having envisioned both the internet and virtual reality before either existed. He is the author of Neuromancer, Count Zero, Mona Lisa Overdrive, Burning Chrome, Virtual Light, Endoru, All Tomorrow's Parties, Pattern Recognition, Spook Country, Zero History, Distrust That Particular Flavor, and The Peripheral. He lives in Vancouver, British Columbia with his wife. As you see, he has written a lot of books, and I thought it was fascinating that he is credited with having coined cyberspace and envisioning, the internet and virtual reality. So that is pretty awesome. The Peripheral is a book series. They call it a trilogy, but I can only find 2 books so far, so I guess he hasn't written the 3rd book yet. The Peripheral is the first book in the series, and then we have the 2nd book, which is Agency. You can buy the books on Amazon and among other places. Barnes & Noble, all sorts of places sell the books. But the trilogy is actually called the Jackpot Trilogy, which, watching the show, they actually talk about the jackpot. It's the series of events that basically kind of destroys how we see the Earth, and then we have the future, which has far fewer humans than our present does. Actually, the present in the show is 2032, and the future is 2100. So the jackpot hasn't happened in 2032, but it has happened by 2100. So it's interesting. I am a big sci-fi nerd, I guess you could say. I love Firefly. I love Star Trek and Star Wars, and the OG trilogy is my favorite Star Wars. But I love sci-fi and reading sci-fi novels, watching sci-fi shows and TV. So this is really I'm surprised I haven't heard of this before, is my thinking on it. It's not been talked about enough. The show was kind of like that. I remember when the show did come out, it was kind of one of those shows that no one talked about. It didn't have many positive reviews, and it didn't have many negative reviews. Just everyone kind of ignored it. So, yeah, I didn't really think much of it since there wasn't really much feedback on it. And then I was just bored one day and came across of it as I was flipping through things to watch on Amazon. So there we go. But the book, I'll read this. Flynn Fisher lives down a country road in a rural America where jobs are scarce unless you count a legal drug manufacturer, which she's trying to avoid. Her brother Burton lives on money from the Veterans Administration for neurological damage suffered in the Marines. Elite heptic recon unit. Flynn earns what she can by assembling product at the local 3D print shop. She made more as a combat scout in an online game playing for a rich man. But she's had to let the shooter games go. Wilf Netherton lives in London 70-some years later, on the far side of decades of slow-motion apocalypse. Things are pretty good now for the haves, and there aren't many have-nots left. Wolf, a high-powered publicist and celebrity minder, fancies himself a romantic misfit in a society where reaching into the past is just another hobby. Burton's been moonlighting online, secretly working security in some game prototype, a virtual world that looks vaguely like London, but a lot weirder. He's got Flynn taking over shifts, promised her the game's not a shooter, still the crime she witnesses, there is plenty bad. Flynn and Wolf are about to meet one another. Her world will be altered utterly, irrevocably, and Wolf's, for all its decadence and power, will learn that some of these third world types from the past can be badass. So yeah, interesting plot. I will say there is some time travel, however, it's time travel through data more than actual physical time travel. And so that's an interesting concept. I will say that I found this reviewer interesting from The Verge, and that they say, of all William Gibson's books, most of which are considered unadaptable for so many reasons, The Peripheral is arguably the most well-suited to the screen as a series. On its face, the 2014 novel comes ready to go with a compelling tale of two worlds premise. Rural Southtown America meets a post-apocalyptic, nanotech-fueled London that follows the God-given European tradition of seeking to colonize anything with a profitable heartbeat. It's got ordinary people getting mixed up in powerful secrets, recognizable near-future technology, and a trademark barrage of Gibsonian terminology. Kleps, Pults, and Neoprims that you can pick up along the way from context and extrapolation. This book is considered one of Gibson's more accessible and engaging works. Sure, some of it hasn't held up over the years, but this is a hill I will die on. Cyberpunk and its offshoots aren't genres meant to age like fine wines. Interesting review there. This reviewer points out that with the adaptation to the show, it came with a lot of changes. Unfortunately, in this case, they're to the detriment of the story. In the book, Gibson does a great job exploring celebrity and power and the delicate work of managing optics in a post-social media world. The complex art of seeing, watching, being seen, and being watched. He goes all in on the trends and cultural crutches we use to prop up our withered attention spans, and to this end, the book is packed with some truly awesome train wrecks, like self-absorbed artists doing poorly thought-out stunts in spectacularly bad scenarios. The show keeps none of that. Wolf, originally a charming alcoholic mess of a publicist, gets downgraded to a generic fixer character who just sort of exists on the periphery of the rich and powerful. Several key characters get absorbed and combined into one. Flynn, deliberately a reticent, voyeuristic character in the book to underscore the larger themes at play, becomes a much more conventional, proactive heroine on screen, which makes sense if you're playing to Westworld fans tuning in to see a new Dolores type making her way toward self-empowerment. And then there's London. In the 4th episode, Wilf reveals that an apocalypse-like series of events called the jackpot, a domino effect of climate change, multiple pandemics, and 32 flavors of disaster, has decimated the future. So all the people that Flynn has been seeing on London streets are just technological placebos to ease the misery of Wilf's empty reality. In the book, London is described as pretty much London, except with the presence of structures called shards. In the show, we get colossal, overgrown, tacky Greco-Roman statuary dotting the city, surrounded by blocky clouds of what I can only imagine are the assemblers, fictional nanotech beings used to rebuild post-jackpot society. It feels like a leftover mood board idea from Westworld, like a crude afterthought tacked on to emphasize the idea that narcissists and oligarchs run the city. So yeah, from reading this and reading more into the books and actually having watched the show, I will agree, the books sound way more fascinating, interesting. The characters seem more three-dimensional, and just the scenery of the future definitely read the book. But I will say it's not the worst thing I've seen. But again, it's not the best thing I've seen either. So if you would like to watch it, I guess this is a mid-review. It's a show that if you're bored and you're just trying to figure out what to see and you're not sure what to watch, check it out. See if it's for you. If you're looking for something more interesting, if you do not have a lot of time to waste, maybe check the reviews out before watching it, or maybe simply just buy the books or get it on Kindle. There's digital copies of the books as well. And there's definitely, so the thing with the show is they did the first season and then they just kind of ended it, and I think the show is dead. I don't think they're going to come out with more of the show. So it ends on a big cliffhanger, and doesn't really have a closure. So I'm hoping the book has more of a closure. It does worry me that the Jackpot trilogy doesn't have the third book yet, so I'm concerned. Is it going to be Game of Thrones all over again if I get invested in the story? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping the third book is on the way. But I do want to check out the Peripheral. The second book is called The Agency. The Agency, which is William Gibson's newest novel, it is the sequel to The Peripheral, is praised highly by the critics. They say that William Gibson has trained his eye on the future for decades, ever since coining the term cyberspace and then popularizing it in his classic speculative novel Neuromancer in the early 1980s. Cory Doctorow raved that The Peripheral is spectacular, a piece of trenchant, far-future speculation that features all of the eyeball kicks of Neuromancer. Now Gibson is back with Agency, a science fiction thriller heavily influenced by our most current events. These books are available many places. You can even get it on Audible if you're more of an audio listener. So yeah, I hope you check these books out. I was interested enough in this show and the story behind it that I decided to share it with you guys. Let me know in the comments if you've seen the show or read the books. Also, let me know in the comments what you thought about the books and the TV show. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? If you read the books and watched the show, do the differences matter that much? I'm interested to see your thoughts on The Peripheral. Please let me know, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!